Today, I'm going to be covering some of the most beautiful horse breeds in the world. And while this is a subjective list, like I do think these horses are pretty, it's also a pretty objective list. Like the majority of people do think that these horse breeds are the most beautiful in the world. Starting off for spot 8 and 7, we actually have two breeds, and I have combined them together because they are known both for the same thing. In spot 8 and 7, we have the Black Forest horse and the Rocky Mountain horse. The thing that makes both of these breeds so visually striking is the contrast between their dark coat and their flaxen mane and tail. So a lot of Rocky Mountain horses will be a color called chocolate, where it's a very, very dark, almost palomino. And then the Black Forest horse has a color known as the dark fox in German, and that is where they have a really, really dark coat. Sometimes it even looks black. Believe it or not, but it's pretty easy to find Rocky Mountain horses in America. We see them all the time out on the trails. They're very popular trail mounts. They're a gaited horse breed, and they also can come in other colors, but the color they're most often found in is this chocolate color. The Black Forest horse is actually an endangered breed. I think that I read there's only 1,000 mares in the world, and the majority of them are found in Germany still. And this breed is a small draft horse, so it's very stocky. It's used for farm work. The Black Forest horse can also come in different shades of the color, but for the most part, they are going to be found with that dark coat. Number 6 on our list for the most beautiful horse breeds is the Percheron. We all know Percherons as the giant draft horses that we see pulling wagons or used for farm work. These horses can be massive, usually around 17 to 18 hands, and they are very big and muscular. So just their size itself is what makes them eye-catching. And I personally really do believe it's all about their presence here. Like, these are massive horses, and not only are they huge and muscular and so strong looking, like they have such a commanding presence, but they're also very beautiful. They come in a bunch of different colors. You can find them in gray, black, different roans, chestnuts. These horses originate from France, and they were originally used as war horses. So when you see them, it's very easy to make sense of that. But believe it or not, a couple hundred years ago, the Percherons weren't what they look like today. They were a much lighter draft horse, so they made good war horses because they could like easily maneuver around the battlefield. Today, they're definitely bred for hard work. They're big and muscular. Besides their looks, the best thing about the Percheron is their personalities. All of the Percherons I have met have been the most gentle and sweet horses. So they're a win-win across the field. I may get flack for this because a lot of people know that this is one of my favorite horse breeds, but number 5 on our list is the Icelandic horse. Icelandic horses come from Iceland, and they're one of the most purest horse breeds in the world. There hasn't been any other breeds brought into the bloodline, and so the horses we know today as the Icelandic horses are the exact same as the horses 1,000 years ago. When you first think about Icelandic horses, you may just think about these furball little ponies, but in reality, there's so much more to the Icelandic horse. Just in the winter, they get super fuzzy. You know, they have to withstand the Icelandic winters. But I was really surprised when we went to Iceland just how majestic and beautiful these horses are. So when they're all shed out for the summer, they have these long flowing manes and tails. Their forelock is like draped across their face. Not only that, they have super exaggerated movements like high knees. And so you can correlate that with like an Andalusian or a Frisian. And we actually saw a black Icelandic horse out in the field, just cantering around, and I thought it was a Frisian. It looked like a Frisian, just smaller. They have feathered legs. They have their flowing mane and tail. They are pretty muscular. One super cool thing about the Icelandic horse is they come in so many different colors. It's one of the most colorful breeds in the world. They can even look like the Black Forest and the Rocky Mountain horses, where they have a darker coat and then the flaxen mane and tail. I feel like to really appreciate the Icelandic horses, it's best to see them in their natural habitat, to see those horses wandering the wilds of Iceland. You just get a different perspective on them, and they are very majestic. For breed number 4, for the most beautiful horses in the world, I have the Appaloosa. So this is another one where people may think I'm being subjective because I have an Appaloosa, but a lot of people like these horses. The reason Appaloosas are so well liked is because of their unique coat patterns. So Appaloosas have this thing called the leopard complex gene, which makes their coats have that leopard appeal where they have spots or white blankets on them. These horses originated in America from the Nez Perce horses found in Idaho that actually belong to the Nez Perce tribe. There's a bunch of different markings you can find within the Appaloosa horse breed. So you have the leopard spots where the horse just looks like it's spotted. And then you have the white blanket blankets like Tucker has, where they have a white blanket covering their hind end. You could get a frostbitten Appaloosa where it almost looks like a roan over their back. And then they also get snowflakes. There's a few different color combinations that make Appaloosas really striking. So when you have a black Appaloosa and like a white blanket, or even if you have a buckskin or a Grula Appaloosa with the white blanket, it is just so unique because you don't see it in a whole lot of places. There's one downside to the Appaloosa horse breed, and it's with that leopard complex gene. So the same gene that makes these horses have spots also carries a hereditary disorder where it affects the horse's eyes. So a lot of Appaloosas are known to get recurrent uveitis in their eyes because it all ties back to that gene. So that's just something to be aware of if you're interested in this horse breed. Number 3 on my list is the Akhal-Teke. So a lot of people may not know what the Akhal-Teke horse breed is. You don't actually see them a whole lot in America anymore. Where I come from in Virginia, years and years ago, there was an Akhal-Teke breeding stable. And so every now and then you'll come across one still that's left, but they're all getting older. And so they're kind of like phasing out of the scene. But the Akhal-Teke is a really unique breed from the Middle East, is where it originated. It's an old breed, and these horses were bred to survive in the desert, which is a very harsh climate. One thing that's unique to the breed is that they're known for their shimmery coats. So when you see an Akhal-Teke, their coats are very metallic looking, and it's because their hair is actually translucent. So it gives them this really unique sheen. Besides that, the way these horses are built, so they have like really long necks, a really long body, they're very athletic. That coupled with the shimmer of their coat, to me personally, they almost look like dragons. Like they're a very otherworldly looking horse. This next horse breed is very popular, and once I say it, I'm sure you can think of members that you know from this horse breed. So number 2 is the Andalusian. You've probably seen a lot of Andalusians without even knowing that's what they are, because a lot of these horses show up in the movies. So the most popular one is probably Shadowfax from Lord of the Rings. He was an Andalusian. These horses come from Andalusia, Spain, and they're still a very important part of the culture, most notably known for the bullfighting. So these are the horses the bullfighters ride when they fight the bulls. This breed excels at dressage, but that goes back to the bullfighting, because in bullfighting, those horses have to be super agile and can easily just control their body and move around to avoid the bull. And so that carries over into dressage. These horses are mostly known for a gray coat with a flowing mane and tail and feathers, even though this breed can come in a lot of different colors. So quick tip, anytime you see like a gray horse in a movie and someone's riding it, it's probably an Andalusian. So the most beautiful horse breed in the world, and this is pretty objective across platforms, whether they're non-horse people or horse people, is the Frisian horse. The Frisian is known for its jet black coat, its muscular build, its flowing mane and tail, and its beautiful exaggerated movements. Frisians aren't exactly popular in America either, so I think every equestrian in America, on those rare occasions you do see a Frisian, you always freak out. Like I've only seen a Frisian a few times in my life, but every time I've seen one, I've been like, oh my gosh, it's a Frisian. A lot of people know these horses from the movies. They're perfect for fantasy or period pieces because they can just easily fit into like the fantastical environment that they're in. They're also known to be super trainable and easy to work with, and that's another reason they make great movie horses. Many people will say that Frisians are an all-around horse. Because they're so easy to work with, they can do a bunch of different things. They're most notable for being dressage horses, movie horses, and carriage horses. One unfortunate fact that a lot of people don't know about Frisian horses is that they have a much shorter lifespan than the average horse. So the average horse lives about 30 years, we'll say 30 to 35 years. Frisians have an average life expectancy of 16 years, and that really just stems from inbreeding within the breed. This breed started like in 500 BC, so thousands and thousands of years ago, but because of the selective breeding and the inbreeding, it has made these genetic disorders really common in Frisians. They are still spot number 1. These are beautiful horses. When you see them, you have to look at them. If you want a shirt to go along with your horse, you should check out my Etsy store. This is one of our shirts. This is for my bay horse. It says, I love my bay horse. But we have many different designs that you can check out. They make great riding shirts. I personally really like these crew necks that we have. They're just super comfortable. We also have some t-shirts that make great riding shirts for warm weather. So the link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.